Exactly which day the U.S. will hit its borrowing limit, it could happen late next week.
I've made clear time and again defaulting on our national debt is not an option.
President Biden says he believes an agreement will be reached with the House Speaker's negotiators who are pressing for spending cuts and caps. The president says the talks are on competing visions for America, not default. Speaker McCarthy says a bill raising the debt ceiling without addressing spending won't pass. The leader of the Oath Keepers group will spend years in prison over the Capitol riot.
Stewart Rhodes did not enter the Capitol building on January 6th, but he and another Oath Keeper were convicted of seditious conspiracy for their planning that day. Federal Judge Amit Mehta sentenced him to 18 years in prison. Prosecutors had asked for 25. Rhodes told the judge before sentencing that he was a political prisoner. Judge Mehta told him he's not, that he represents an ongoing threat to the country, and said, "You are smart, you are compelling, and you are charismatic. Frankly, that is what makes you dangerous."
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Rhodes plans to appeal his conviction. Other Oath Keepers members convicted on various charges will be sentenced separately. 5 Proud Boys members will be sentenced for seditious conspiracy in August. A New York woman is accused of threatening businesses in another state after a mass shooting.
Sharon Robinson has been indicted on charges of making threatening calls to Denver area businesses. Prosecutors say her actions came against LGBTQ establishments in the days following the Club Q shooting in Colorado Springs last November, where 5 people were killed. The indictment alleges Robinson made verbal threats against businesses believed to have been targeted due to many of their patrons' sexual orientation.
Fox's Gernal Scott. A mixed day on Wall Street. The Dow down 35 points at the bell, but the NASDAQ rallies. America is listening to Fox News.
I can't wait for what's next. Even with higher stroke risk due to atrial fibrillation and irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem, Eliquis, the Pixaban tablets, reduces stroke risk. It's the #1 cardiologist prescribed blood thinner.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or have antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising, or if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take medicines such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
An Air Force fighter pilot is President Biden's pick to be the Joint Chiefs Chairman, the top U.S. military officer.
Air Force General Charles C.Q. Brown Jr. is a warrior who knows what it means to be in the thick of battle and keep your cool, President Biden says.
And while General Brown is a proud, butt-kicking American airman, first and always, he's also been an operational leader in the Joint Force.
Brown currently serves as Air Force Chief of Staff and has led commands in Europe and Asia.
I know I'll be able to rely on his advice as a military strategist and as a leader of military innovation.
Brown, who is the first black service chief, released a video statement in the summer of 2020 addressing the death of George Floyd and his own experiences with racism. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
South Carolina's governor signing a bill that bans most abortions around 6 weeks of pregnancy, setting up another round of legal challenges after a similar ban from 2021 was struck down this year. The state Supreme Court ruling it violated privacy rights under the state constitution. One Republican presidential hopeful who's from South Carolina is pledging to support a federal ban on abortion.
Nikki Haley sticking to her pro-life stance in remarks to an audience in New Hampshire, where abortion remains legal up until 24 weeks of pregnancy. While not giving specifics on the number of weeks, Haley says she would sign a national abortion ban, but points out achieving the 60 Senate votes needed to do so is highly unlikely. Some Republicans, like Congresswoman Nancy Mace, who like Haley is from South Carolina, have warned that strict abortion bans are a losing issue for the party.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz in Washington. Recapping Wall Street, the Dow drops 35 points after turning green at times during the session. The NASDAQ holds on to a rally up 213. That's nearly 1 3/4%. And Lisa Brady, this is Fox News.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana this Saturday, and a delightful spell of late spring weather continuing on. Temperatures have cooled. They'll recover over the course of the weekend back into the early to midsummer-like mode, and we may be closing in on our first 90-degree day at some point mid-next week. Late next week, the next introduction of a shower thunderstorm in a couple of spots. Otherwise, high and dry right through the holiday weekend. Breezy, much cooler for the day-to-day. Skies turning out mostly sunny as the day wears on. Up to 73 with a northeast wind 12 to 22 and gusty tonight. Clear, cool northeast wind 46 the dawn temperature. Tomorrow sunshine and 77 on that northeast wind. Back into the upper 40s here again for tomorrow night and for the holiday weekend. Mostly sunny, a warm, dry day on Saturday up to around 80. Partly sunny, 82 on Sunday. The holiday Monday sunny, warm and 86. Riding towards the upper 80s, closing in on 90 degrees next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. For his TVJ broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
Check. I literally just create madness.
Well, they're up.
I'm going to go off here.
They don't have a great quarterback.
I got to take a break. I'm getting in trouble.
To win the Big Ten, you first got to win the West.
Bad Bunny. Have you heard his name in a while?
No.
Has it bothered you?
No. Defensively, they got to come in with some confidence.
Is that even analytics?
I'm in a parking garage, kind of lost.
Terrence Shannon, Matthew Meyer, R.J. Melendez, Coleman Hawkins.
These trophy presentations aren't over.
I didn't come here to go 5-7.
I'm so proud of Illinois football right now. I'm so tired of Joel Embiid.
We're not taking Patrick Corbin.
I want to bet the Bears.
Oh.
You are Reba McEntire's niece.
Roshan Russell.
Coach Bielema.
You no longer salute to yourself.
What? We got all kinds of things for you here.
There's a lot of glass.
Oh.
Guys, we have breaking news.
Uh-oh.
It's The Drive.
Smack Dogs!
Thunderstruck! Thunderstruck! Yeah, Thunderstruck! Thunderstruck!
Well, good morning, everybody. It is The Drive. ESPN Radio 93.5. The Drive with Say and Piper. Kyle Tosk here as well. Retroactive back to Monday. The 10-day IL trip is over. My first IL trip ever in 13 years of the career. So it was good. I got a lot of rest, laid on my back. I hurt so much I didn't even eat, which is good because in front of me is some yak meat from Ron Bailey, and we're about ready to get it going from Savannah Farms, and we're going to try that. We're going to talk to Ron here in a little bit. So I asked Kyle and I asked Derek, have you guys ever had yak?
I've not, no.
I haven't either.
Me neither.
So we will try this as we go and then visit with Ron. I'm excited about this and appreciative of him for bringing in lunch for us. Kind of a late lunch, early dinner, which, hey, listen, if you look at me, you're always understood that I'm ready to eat. So let's get it going here. You guys have had 3 days of not a lot to talk about. And so
as you found out yesterday, we went an hour on jerseys, which is one of the most fun segments we've done in a while.
I enjoyed
honestly.
it. I enjoyed every second of that. I was able to listen to you guys as you were doing that. Obviously I texted in a few times, but yeah, that was. I mean, listen, that's what you do in the summer, right? You get certain things. We still need to go to the what if, and I know you have a big what if with Illinois, and I know we've done this before, but we'll get to one of those segments as well, kind of a what if segment. I want to talk to Kyle a little bit about season tickets and student season tickets for Illinois football, because it's happened to me now, and there's an occurrence with me as a season ticket holder that I'm going to have to up the ante if I want to still park where I usually park. And I started thinking to myself, they're getting a little arrogant over there, but this is good, Derek. This is good because that's what happens when your program starts winning. That's what happens when you lock in another 5,000 to 8,000 season ticket holders and people start want to come into the games. The way I look at it is it doesn't make me upset. I look at it that, man, for the last 20 years, I've had it pretty nice. And now all of a sudden I got to pay the piper, excuse the pun there, not intended.
You can pay me if you want.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I want to continue to kind of enjoy my Saturday experience of tailgating and going to Illinois football games. So we'll touch on that a little bit. Cardinals get the win today, 2-1. Miles Michaelis on the hill, and he got it done for that. But, Yeah, I mean, listen, guys, I apologize, but I literally pinched a nerve in my lower back, and it was I narrowed it down to a Wednesday of last week where I lifted 6 bags of mulch into the truck and out, and then that same day I hit grounders to Andrew, and then pitched to Andrew. And then all of a sudden, I had to go to Chicago Friday. Saturday morning, I'm driving back for Andrew's game, and I cannot, for 3.5 hours, from Chicago to Argenta, Illinois, I cannot find a comfortable spot, and that was pure you-know-what. I could not find a comfortable spot to sit, driving 65 or 70, not 65, driving 70 on the interstate, just going, oh. And then literally I just had to lay on my back for the last 3 days. So my apologies to you
Sorry
guys.
you had to go through that, man.
Oh, it was horrible. And I know there's plenty of people out there listening that have had this happen. And it's just something can happen. Boom, you're down. And the next thing you know, it's just in sheer pain. But I feel so much better today. I started feeling better yesterday. Last night, Andrew had a game. They won, so they play for the sectional title Saturdays. That's helped a little bit, keep me interested in what's going on next. But certainly, man, that is not something I would wish even on Cubs fans. And that is the truth, Kyle. I would not even wish that on any of you guys because that was just pure hell. It's that simple. So I don't think I know I've had tooth issues that have hurt that bad. Probably the worst I've ever hurt was in what do you call it, an abscessed tooth. I had one time. I literally was ready to open the car door going 60 and just jump out. I remember telling Gene on the way home from Mount Zion to Sullivan back in the day, I was like, I literally want to just open this door and jump out because then whatever injury I suffer after that has got to be better off than what's happening with my tooth. I don't encourage anybody to do that, by the way, and I didn't do it, obviously. But other than that, man, this back thing. Whew. All right, so I kept waiting for the news of Ray J. Dennis. And here we sit.
Same with everybody else.
Here we sit. Oh, my goodness. Do we have anything new?
The new is that there's no announcement.
Okay.
And it was supposed to be yesterday.
Which is good news, right? I mean, I guess.
It's funny how the dynamic has changed where last week where the visit tour had just ended. He went to Utah early last week. That was the last of his 4 visits, Illinois, then Michigan, then Baylor, then Utah. And the feeling around Illinois was that a quicker decision, the better. It felt like Illinois had the momentum. It felt like they were in a pretty good spot. And usually in recruiting, when you're viewed to be out in front. Now, with how some things have changed, I think there would be, in hindsight, some skepticism. Was Illinois really at the very top where they needed to be based on some of what has come out here recently? I don't know that to be a fact, but that was kind of how their view was.
Okay.
Because the longer it went, the more that he could listen to others, the more that any type of momentum they had, or just the fact of, as you look at it with visits, each day that goes past is a further day away from that visit in Champaign, so it maybe loses its luster a little bit. He maybe gets a little bit more open-minded, and guys are impressionable, and you really try to capture that momentum as you can. Now it seems like the longer it goes, the better for Illinois because I think yesterday, and this is my personal opinion, educated guess, as I would say, based as I talk to as many people as I can, I think if he were to announce yesterday, it was going to be for Utah.
Okay. Wow.
And he didn't go through with that announcement. Now I think that opens the door for further consideration for Illinois to talk more to him, which they have. And we'll see how this thing gets pushed and how long it gets pushed ahead going forward. The dead period, which we've talked about, thought he'd make a decision during that. It ends going into the weekend. So one more day tomorrow for a dead period, no in-person contact on campus, off campus. If he gets through tomorrow, then the recruiting period's back open. He could theoretically pop up on somebody's campus if he wanted to, if he felt like he needed to do that. It's a tough decision for a guy who has 1 year left in college, needs to find the best spot. He's a highly coveted free agent.
No doubt.
And these discussions are ongoing, and it makes sense that there's some hesitation. And just if we were in his shoes, now I think a lot of people would say Illinois should have everything you want. Why not just go to Illinois, have your family at most of the games?
Amen.
They live up there in the suburbs, and it could make a lot of sense. But he's got different people pulling him different directions. Illinois continues to work it, and we'll see where it goes.
Never have I considered myself smart but I've never considered myself dumb. And I kind of understand, like probably a lot of people, of why maybe the door is still open a little bit. And it might come down to money signs, right? And what's happening, and that's what the NIL is doing nowadays. So obviously there's maybe a little bit of that working. And I think back to Johnny Newton and Keith Randolph when they both were considering going to the NFL draft or maybe returning, and it was like, man, there's no way that Johnny Newton especially is going to come back after the season he had, and I think Keith Randolph will show what he's worth, what he did last year for sure. But then all of a sudden, guess what? They're both back, and we can't wait for that with Illinois football. So what I'm saying there is I have a lot of faith in this Illinois football program, in those that are putting together this NIL and getting these deals done and making that happen. I've got faith that Illinois can at least rise to the top and say, here's what we can do, and it's going to be a pretty valid offer. So we'll see. I guess maybe it comes down to that, but I'm sure I'm sure that when you get to a certain point, the money's good, and now there's a couple of other factors that maybe weigh in. But man, if you're Ray J, I mean, I guess, kind of like us, we don't know about Shannon, we don't know about Coleman. I'm tired of talking about that. I'm ready to find something out. I know Kyle said that. Was that yesterday or the day before? It's like, can we just get to the end of May? And
I've been saying that for 2 weeks.
Right. Let's just figure out what we got, But certainly, I think if all the pieces fell back in Illinois' favor, including Ray J, I think this is going to be a stinking good team. And I think he would, at that point, not be disappointed in making a decision to wear the orange and blue. But I haven't studied Utah's team. Obviously, Baylor has played at a high level for a number of years. So obviously, they've got what they've got. And then I can't remember the other team that he
Michigan,
yeah. So, and Michigan is Michigan. So we'll see, and we should hopefully hear something here in, I don't know, soon.
For the sake of my sanity, please. I'm dying over here.
And Coleman and Terrence have till May 31st?
31st.
Okay.
A little less than a week.
What day is that next week?
Wednesday.
Without me doing the math. Is it Wednesday? Okay. So there you go, Kyle.
Terrence worked out yesterday. I've hinted at and said that Terrence had a workout this week, midweek, for a team in the 30s. That was the Orlando Magic.
Okay.
It happened yesterday, and they have pick 36.
Oh.
So that's early in the second round. Have heard that they like Terrence. Did they give him an assertion that, hey, if you're there, we're going to take you? I don't know that to be true.
Okay.
But that was a significant development going into this week, and obviously something that Terrence is going to have to weigh as he goes through this last part of the process of whether that interest, however high it is from Orlando or others in that range, if that's worth the gamble of trying to stay in and get that guaranteed money that he's seeking. Otherwise, go back to Illinois, work on your stock, work on your game, and then get a pretty nice NIL payday.
Amen.
That would be a guaranteed form of payment if you were to come back to Illinois. I think that would be pretty lucrative for him.
That's the crazy part, is you're kind of juggling now 3 different NILs as we roll along. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break. We're going to do a little bit of a longer break. Not long. I mean, we're not going to – we'll be back, I promise. But I've got some yak meat in front of me from Savannah Ridge Farms. Ron Bailey is here. He's going to join us when we come back. And this will be my first chance ever to taste yak. So I'm excited to do this. And when we come back, we'll talk to Ron a little bit about that and get some ideas on what they do at Savannah Ridge Farms and how you can take advantage of that. Also, we'll kind of break down a little bit season tickets for Illinois football. I just want to get your opinion on that, Kyle. I know that they came out with kind of a statement for the students saying, hey, if you don't do this, you might not get this. So I thought it was interesting. And then on my end as well with the season tickets. So we'll talk about that. Derek Piper's got his phone on at all times. So if breaking news happens like it did with Matthew or Matt, who am I thinking?
Matt Meyer.
Matt Myers. I about said
Monster
Matthew
Meyer.
Bailey. Yeah, Monster Meyer. If that happens, then we'll be on call here to get it done. Cardinals went 2-1. Cubbies play tonight. Christopher Morel's going to hit, his 10th home run in 14 games.
He finally didn't homer last
Yeah, I
night
know.
for
That dude.
The first time.
Wow.
Send him down.
He's get rid of him. Just like the Cardinals with Jordan Walker, right? They said, all right, you're not good enough. Move down. All right, we are back. Plenty to do. If you want to weigh in, 217-359-2255. U of I Atlanta Link text line 359-2255. In the 4 o'clock hour, we'll visit with Lance Ringler from Golf Week. Of course, Illinois gets it going, gets the tee-offs going in the NCAA tournament. We'll talk to Lance on the Tapman's Towing phone line. Tomorrow, we finally get Matt Cilic. The kid has been on a honeymoon in Croatia for like a month. So we're going to talk some NBA with Matt Cilic. Of course, Denver sweeps the Lakers. Miami and the Celtics. Miami up 3-1. In that one, the Celtics, of course. Is it 3-1 still? Or
3-1. Game 5 is tonight.
Tonight. Okay, so we'll do that. Boy, Florida Panthers, they sweep their way into the Stanley Cup Finals. Vegas and, oh my gosh, why am I losing my mind here? Vegas. Dallas, thank you. It's 3-0 Vegas. And that, I mean, it's just the NBA and the NHL playoffs coming down the stretch here have not been that exciting. I mean, it's been dominant teams, so not a lot to talk about there. But certainly with Matt Cilic, we can ask him about LeBron, talk to him about the Denver Nuggets, why they're so good. Why is Jimmy Butler just this good of a catalyst? And how bad did the Bulls mess up? How bad did the Sixers mess up? How bad? Just go down the list of teams that had Jimmy Butler, and maybe they should have just kept Jimmy Butler as it went along. So we'll talk to Matt Cilic tomorrow. And then very cool tomorrow as well, Lee Smith, who's from Rantoul, Illinois. He is now the executive director of the Players' Championship on the PGA. He's kind of worked his way up the PGA and now is the executive director of that tournament. And that has always been known as the fifth major in the PGA. So a local guy from Rantoul, I can't wait to visit with him tomorrow, and we'll get his thoughts, kind of the progress of how he made his way all the way to where he is now essentially the boss of the Players' Championship. And, of course, that's the tournament with the old Island Green that Derek Piper and I do not want to play. I do not want anything to do. Of course, my luck, I'd probably hit it on the green the first time. You know, I'd be like, oh, this isn't that hard.
I'd have to skip it like a rock across.
Right.
That's my only chance.
The problem is they elevated out of the water well enough that I don't think the skip's
going to. Oh, well, then I'm done.
Yeah, I think you're done.
I'll try to throw it.
Right. We just throw it up there. So tomorrow, pretty cool with Matt Cilic and Lee Smith. And then, of course, next hour, Lance Ringler from Golf Week. Get his thoughts on the field. I want to ask him about the field that Illinois is going against. Who are some teams that he really is thinking that could give Illinois some issues in terms of trying to win Mike Small a national championship for the first time? Let's hope that happens. It would be incredible. All right, we are back to visit with Ron Bailey from Savannah Ridge Farms. We'll do it next. It is The Drop.
Looking to eat healthier and buy locally? Savannah Ridge Farms in Indianola, Illinois has been expanding their yak herd for nearly 2 years, offering local farm-to-table meat containing absolutely no antibiotics, no hormones, or steroids. Savannah Ridge Farms is raising 100% all-natural yaks that feed on organic grass and hay in chemical-free open land. Yak meat is one of the best sources of protein and is nearly 100% fat-free. So if you want healthy, nutrient-dense, vitamin-packed red meat without the worry of how it got to your plate, visit SavannahRidgeFarms.com and check out their Facebook page. Look for Savannah Ridge Farms at Urbana's Market at the Square on Saturdays. They deliver to Champaign and Vermilion counties, and you can also pick them up at their farm. Visit SavannahRidgeFarms.com for incredibly healthy yak meat. SavannahRidgeFarms.com.
At Busey Bank, we're proud to serve our local community through financial guidance and community investment. Offering sound advice and actionable insight, Busey builds financial strength, supports homeownership dreams, and offers customized lending strategies, connecting with our neighbors to build stronger communities. Busey Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini.
By now, you've all heard the expression, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 for PDR Automotive. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. But who are they? They, the PDR staff, understand that a name is only as good as the people that represent it. The PDR staff has more than 335 years of combined automotive experience. Several employees now on staff for more than 25 years. PDR, more than just a name. Family owned and operated, now celebrating over 50 years in business.
The Stars of Mars race under the Friday night lights for the Mars Modified Championships, sponsored by Summit Racing Equipment. $5,000 to win Mars late models, $2,000 to win Mars Modifieds. Head to Farmer City this Friday night, May 26th, as you get into your Memorial Day holiday weekend. For details, head to FarmerCityRacing.com. You'll buy the whole seat, but you only need the edge.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. Take a look around your home. Is it finally ready for some much-needed updates? If you don't know where to start, then just meet with one of our experts. We'll help you find the perfect waterproof plank floor for your kitchen or that stain-resistant, super soft carpet for your bedroom. Finish your room update with a custom sofa and chairs, or choose a trendy in-stock dining set that's priced right. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Hey, Stevie J, we have a brand new Steve review today from Greenview. How would you like to plant a tree? I tell you what, I'll give you a tree planting, like an ornamental tree. Greenview does so much with your yard. They can flower it, they can mow it, they can build you a backyard gas grill. Whatever you're looking for, Greenview can put the pergola up as well. Today I'm planting trees, and I'm going to give you a tree planting. So if you'd like a free tree, they'll come and they'll show you how incredible they are. They're locally owned. You'll like Greenview. They're terrific at what they do. So all you have to do is text in Greenview if you want me to help plant a tree for you. I'll pay. All right, that's your Steve Ralph for the program where I give you my money. You get to spend it and keep it today from a great company called Greenview, a tree planting. Just text in Greenview right now, 217-359-2255, and good luck.
Hey, Illini fans, it's Max Kellerman. Catch Lon Tay and Derek Piper weekdays from 4 to 6 right here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
It is The Drive, ESPN Radio 93.5. The Drive with Tay and Piper. Lonte, Derek Piper, Kyle Tosk has been sent to the couch. It's been a while since we've had to send him to the couch, but sometimes he gets in trouble, and he has to learn. Look, I've been gone, right? So he's kind of, he's just kind of taking advantage of it. Yeah, he did step up. He really did, which I appreciate because it's allowed me to lay on my back like a 98-year-old person and do nothing.
You just can't get Drew Bledsoe'd. And I think that's a bigger risk each time that you get out of here.
Oh, that was horrible. A pinched nerve in the back, and I didn't realize that would knock me out of radio for 3 days. So my apologies, but I am back just in time for Ron Bailey to visit with us here in the studio in Philo. Ron, owner of Savannah Ridge Farms in Indianola, Illinois, over by Georgetown, kind of south of Danville.
3-minute stations.
That's 3 minutes. Supposed to be there. How are you, Ron?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Yeah, and thanks for coming in. You brought yak meat in, and I've been hearing your commercials, and I've been hearing Stevie talk about this for quite a while, and then he said, hey, Ron's going to come in, you're going to try it. And I'm not going to lie to you, Ron, I am a picky guy. I mean, full transparency. I'm one of the pickiest guys you'll ever. And when I woke up today, I was like, oh, I hope I like this because I don't know that I'm gonna be scared. It is incredibly good.
It's a great meat.
And I'm gonna have you get a little closer to that mic. When I look at your SavannahRidgeFarms.com, when I look at the website, these yaks look mean.
They're not mean. Actually, they're domesticated, and we don't milk them, but in the Himalayas where they come from, they actually milk them. They use them as pack animals, so they're very domesticated.
I assume that with all that they have, they can handle a cold winter day like nothing else, right? I mean, they have a lot of body, just warmth.
They like the cold. They don't like the hot.
I bet.
Yeah.
How did you get started in this with regards to yak?
Well, it's kind of an interesting story. We're Christians, and we go to church, and we had tried cattle, but we have an organic farm where we raise a lot of legumes, and cattle bloat on legumes. Oh. So we're looking for something that would handle what we raise in our pastures, and there was a missionary speaking from inner city East St. Louis. And we went and visited with her afterwards, and she started talking about yaks. Yak this, yak that. And we thought, maybe this is God talking to us here. Right. So we looked into it, and yaks were a perfect fit for our farm.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So how do you even begin? Do you just, say you're going to purchase 4 yak, and then you go from there, or how does that even work?
Yeah, we've bought yaks from Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Kansas as the seed stock for our herd, and we've purchased around 35 yaks. Wow. Our herd's about 70 right now, so we're expanding it every year. We hold back our heifers, our steers. We're getting ready to harvest more steers this fall, and we're to meet our demand, really we need to be doing about 20 harvesting a year.
Wow, 20 a year. Okay, Now, we were just laughing about my weight issue. Now, I will say this. As bad as the pinched nerve was for 4 days, I didn't eat. So I lost 8 pounds. So I feel like I'm like, all right, but I don't want to do that anymore. I'd rather just exercise than lay on my back all the time. There is no fat, or very, very, very little fat in yak meat. And I think probably that was another reason I was a little bit like, am I going to like this? Because it's going to be pure health, and I'm not exactly a model of pure health, Ron.
Well, the yak meat is 95 to 97% fat-free. University of Kentucky just did a study on the sirloin steak of a yak. It was 1% fat. 1%. So what we do is we have actually had spices developed just for our yak meat. J-Pat does all the spices and rubs for the University of Illinois and all the cafeterias and restaurants they have on campus, and he does a lot of the restaurants in Champaign-Urbana. And he took our yak meat and he developed a special spice just for it that just makes it killer good.
It's so good.
On that note, the sandwich we just had, I love the spice, the taste to it. And if you're going to make like a Sloppy Joe type of sandwich with regular meat, you're then, of course, going to pour out the fat, and you're going to have that coffee cup full of the grease and whatnot. Like, can you take us into some of the spice? And I mean, my plate's gone already. I finished mine, so obviously I'm a fan.
Well, this is very simple. What I do is I actually cook it in butter. What isn't good? I start out with butter and I saute onions for this, and then what I do is I add the yak in, just brown it, and then add my barbecue sauce, and it's done. Because there's no fat in this. And so I add butter, so maybe it's 95% fat-free instead of 97%, but it's not affecting it very much. And it adds a lot of flavor to it.
And if you like Sloppy Joes, if you're out there listening and you like Sloppy Joes, I promise you this is better.
Yes,
this is better.
Absolutely.
And I'm not, I mean, that is full transparency. This is incredible stuff. And the fact that it's that good for you. So how does one go about ordering? For instance, we're all used to going to the store. Maybe we pick up a couple of ribeyes. Maybe we pick up this or the, ground beef to grill some, hamburgers, etc. What do they do with, like, in other words, is that kind of similar with you guys? Do you have certain things you can order from your website and such?
We do, and we started out with ribeyes and fillets, and they sold out in 6 weeks.
Wow.
And we had harvested 6 animals. We thought, well, this will last us, 6 months. So in 6 weeks, they were gone.
Oh, my goodness.
We've got steak burgers left, and we've got a lot of steak burger. But we're looking to work with some restaurants now also.
Okay.
And there are restaurants that are serving yak on the menu. In Louisville, there's a real upscale restaurant that's doing it, and it's the best seller that they've got.
And the ribeye, like, so if, we're all used to throwing a ribeye on the grill. Is it similar with the yak, or is it because of there's so less fat, do you have to really watch?
Low and slow.
Okay.
We just tell everybody low and slow, add your spices to it. You don't want to cook it like a regular ribeye because you wait till the grease is running out. There's no grease in this, so you can overcook it. But if you do it low and slow, you'll be fine.
Got it.
Do you have any idea when you might get some ribeye, the steak options back? You're going to have to up the production, huh?
Let's go. It'll be late September, October.
Okay, great.
And, it's kind of like recreating the wheel. Where do you start? So we decided that we're going to start now. We got a hold of Stevie, start our advertising campaign. The website's been doing great.
Awesome.
We're at the Urbana Farmers Market every Saturday morning through June. So if people want to buy from us, they can do it off the website or then go to Urbana Farmers
And
Market.
that might be the perfect way for somebody to come up and maybe spend just a little bit of money on it. Like, let's don't get out of hand. Let's make sure the family likes it. I guarantee you will. But that might be the perfect way, and then you go from there, right?
Yeah.
In terms of
we have a lot of people buy one package of the hamburger, then they're back the next week and they're buying 2 and 3. So we had one couple actually that have bought, I think, 3 weeks in a row from us, and they came back last week. They were really sad. Said, we just got transferred to Northern Illinois.
Oh,
We
no.
finally found some meat that we love. I said, well, you let us know your address and we can ship it to you. So
it is amazing. So the yak itself, the animal, is it like a cow? I mean, is that kind of how I would look at a yak?
Well, they're bovines.
Okay.
So the same family, but they're a lot different. They're smaller than cows. They don't leave a big footprint. We can put them out on our pastures, and it rains, and they don't tear up the pasture. When we had cattle, it was a muddy mess.
Oh, I bet.
They just tear everything up. They eat about 30 to 40% of what cattle do, and so they eat a lot less, and they don't bloat. That's
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I mean, can you go? I know with cattle, growing up around here, you always like every once in a while you pull off. You're like, come here, and I'm like, let me pet you. I mean, can you do that with a yak? Or are they pretty?
We've got a couple that we've raised on bottles that they come right up to you.
Wow.
I call them 20-footers. 20 foot's as close as I want to get to them, and it's okay if that's all the closer they want to get to me.
Right, exactly. The horns look a little bit intimidating. I'm not going to lie to you.
We don't have problems with predators. Let me put it like that.
I was going to say, I bet nothing, coyotes or anything, nobody messes with that.
No.
I can imagine. SavannahRidgeFarms.com. What do they expect when they go to that website? Is it pretty easy to navigate in terms of finding what you can order, where you're located, et cetera?
It's very simple, very easy. We've got different tabs where they can go to, and we do deliver.
Okay.
So we deliver any place in Vermilion or Champaign County. And to be honest with you, we're only marketing this locally.
Okay.
We're not starting to ship all over the United States. We're starting slow. We want to take care of our local market. And then as we expand, we ran out of steaks the first 6 weeks. So, I mean, the demand's pretty good.
That's incredible.
And so we can deliver any place in Vermilion or Champaign County, or they can come out the farm and pick it up out there if they
Okay. And really, they can just search for you. I mean, just Google you, right? This is what the kids do, Derek. You just Google in Savannah Ridge Farms, and you'll find it in Indianola. So,
that's right.
Ron Bailey, this has been fun. How many of your family do this?
Well, right now, today, I've got 3 of my boys out there. I got 2 that work full-time. And my younger kids get hooked into going out at least 2 or 3 times a week. We'll have 5 of us out there tomorrow. So.
Okay, that is awesome. You got the Gators out there rolling, and everything's rolling. I love it. I'll have to make a trip the next time close to Danville. I'll have to make a trip by to say hi. I'd love to see.
Sure.
I'd love to see a yak in person. I've
Absolutely.
literally never seen a yak in person, so it would be very cool. Well, listen, Ron, thank you so much. Thank you for bringing the food in today. It was excellent, and we appreciate the conversation.
Absolutely. God bless you guys.
Thank you.
Thank
God
you,
bless you. That is great stuff. Ron Bailey, again, SavannahRidgeFarms.com. This is good. Now, see, I've been talking too much, so I only got half my sandwich. So at this next break, guess what's going to happen? This thing's going to be gone. All right, we are back. If you want to weigh in, 359-2255. That's 217-359-2255. Derek, you're looking at it. Those things look like I wouldn't tussle with it.
I kind of want that to be the mascot of a team.
Yes.
Someone needs to be the
I'm
yak.
not kidding you, because they've got like a stern look to them with 2 horns just sitting there going, let's go. Like these 2 right here are literally like, let's go. See what you got. And I'm not, like Ron said, 20-yarders. I'm staying away from. I'm staying as
If
far
Illinois
away.
ever needs,
that's
forget
right.
the kingfish or whatever the heck it is.
Or the yaks.
The yak.
I love that idea, Derek. Maybe we just started something. Maybe we did. All right, we're back. It's the Drive.
Pia's opens every morning, daily at 7 a.m. You will find it all at Pia's with live video gaming, sports, food, drinks, and fun. See you at Pia's, West Springfield Avenue in Champaign. Serving food 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. and drinks until 2 a.m. daily. Pia serves up its famous 10-ounce Slugger Burger, along with great wings and so much more. You will find it all at Pia's with live video gaming, sports, food, drinks, and fun. See you at Pia's, West Springfield Avenue in Champaign.
No matter what, it takes a great team to win. And in Fairbury, Aftershock Decals and Design wins consistently. And it's the all-star team that makes it happen. Do you have what it takes to be a part of this winning team? Aftershock Decals and Designs is recruiting. If you are looking to join this all-star team and you have 2 years of experience in either graphics design or wrap installations, we want you. AftershockDD.com/jobs. Aftershock Decals and Design is an equal opportunity employer. That's a wrap. Get noticed.
BMW, Buick, GMC, Honda, and Subaru. Welcome to Sarah Champagne. We can handle all your car repairs on site, including paintless dent repair, bumpers, windshields, everything in between. We have an amazing selection of new or pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Shop from home and buy online or reserve your vehicle before it hits our website or dealership. Sarah Champagne is home of the Sarah One Price Promise, delivering an honest and transparent buying experience. Hurry in or shop online at sarahchampagne.com.
The stars of Mars race under the Friday night lights for the Mars Modified Championships, sponsored by Summit Racing Equipment. $5,000 to win Mars late models, $2,000 to win Mars modifieds. Head to Farmer City this Friday night, May 26th, as you get into your Memorial Day holiday weekend. For details, head to farmercityracing.com. You'll buy the whole seat, but you only need the edge.
Hi, I'm Skylar Pumphrey from Greenview. Let me do the chores that you've been neglecting all summer. You want to enjoy your outdoor space, not work in it? Let our team at Greenview make your landscaping dreams a reality. Custom fireplaces, patios, kitchens, pool decks, waterfalls, rainscapes, theme gardens, and anything else you can imagine. Make Greenview your call for all jobs, big or small. Call Greenview today at 217-586-1112 and give Lori a call. She'll get you set up with an appointment. Visit greenview.com.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
Carl works every day to improve the health of community members across the region, and it would not be possible without team members like Dwayne Linton, a nationally certified nurse in the emergency department at Carl Foundation Hospital.
I work with a team of people who really care about what they do and are very flexible and adaptive in rapidly changing critical situations, and I would trust any of them at any time.
If you're looking for an opportunity to serve your community like Dwayne in a supportive environment, visit carl.org/careers.
Your lawn is an important investment. Let Spring Green take care of that lawn. Your local, family-owned and operated Spring Green has been committed to beautifying your neighborhood through quality, service, and professionalism. Spring Green's full program customers are backed by their guarantee of satisfaction. Smart Money Magazine reports that consumers value a home with a well-maintained lawn and landscape up to 11.3% higher than the base price. Why don't you call Spring Green today, 359-2111, or visit them at spring-green.com.
Illini fans, take the opportunity to head down to Game Day Spirit's Green Street location this summer. Shop their awesome selection of Fighting Illini merchandise. While you're there, shop some of their awesome buy one, get one free t-shirt designs, as well as their Nike section and so much more. With new styles coming in daily, there's sure to be something for every Illini fan. Shop at the corner of Neal and Kirby in Champaign, 6th and Green in Campustown, and online 24/7 at GameDaySpirit.com. Game Day Spirit, where Illini fans shop.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products, and complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Hi, this is Kirk Lehman, owner of Aftershock Decals and Design. We are a one-stop shop for your business needs. Whether you're just starting up or already in business, we can help you get your brand out there. We do everything from logo design or redesign, outdoor signage to banners, window and wall graphics, fleet graphics, vehicle wraps, and more. We also provide custom racing wraps and decals. If you need anything I just mentioned, you need to get a quote from me, Kirk Lehman. Just visit us at AftershockDD.com.
PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. Hi, it's Stevie J. Start your day with me along with Diane Ducey, weekday morning 7 to 9 here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Derek Piper is looking at his phone. That's the only update I'm giving you. That's it. Take that to mean what you think it needs to mean. I don't know.
He's been doing a lot of that.
He has been. Yeah. Have you had to kind of keep him Keep him on track the last couple days, Kyle?
Sort of, but also I got to get that info, you know?
Well, yeah, right.
I want to know what's up with Ray J. Dennis.
Somebody did say, Josh said, will the student section be called the Yak Pack?
Get it done.
I like that.
I don't want to get rid of the Illini.
No.
Someone should adopt the Yak as the mascot and the team name and the Yak Pack for a student section.
That would be awesome. Like Colorado, they bring the Buffalo out every game. They run him out onto the field. The Yak would be a cool – I'm all for that. I'm all for this. And if I were like a smaller college that maybe needs a little attention, absolutely I'm going the Yak Pack.
And you run them out after the opposing team comes out first.
Yes.
And before you send someone like not a coach or anything, but someone who tends to the Yak into the opposing locker room. Like, just so you guys know, for your safety, this is what we call a 20-footer. You don't want to be anywhere near 20 feet of this guy. He does get a little crazy here and there.
And he's snorting.
Don't look him in the eye.
Right. And do not look him in the eye. And it's cold out, so when they breathe, you see
Yes.
What would be cool is to have one stunt guy every game, right, that is dressed in your uniform, and the Yak just comes out and destroys him. And the other team is like, holy crap. But we know it's like a stunt guy, right? So he's not going to get hurt. I'm all for this. I think we ought to make this happen. Let's
stunt guy, since he does all of his own stunts, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, right.
It's a small target to hit, but surely the Yak can do it.
Fly the plane in. He can jump out of the plane, come down, and then get attacked by a Yak. I think that'd be one hell of a movie script. All right, it is The Drive with Tay and Piper. Lonte, Derek Piper. Somebody at 217 asked us to bring on an Indy 500 guy to preview the event. That would be great. We have actually, in the past years, tried to find a NASCAR / Indy 500 guy. I know back in the day, Bob Sargent from Macon Speedway used to come on with us to preview some of the bigger races that were occurring around the area. But, Bob was pretty well dialed in with a lot of the Michael Waltrips, the Kenny Schraders of the worlds, the Tony Stewarts. But we just haven't really been able to find a kind of a racing person to join us. So we'll continue to do that. I know the Indy 500 is kind of creeping up on us. It's amazing. Every year I'm like, oh, that's right. It's Memorial Day. Here comes the Indy 500. So probably place a wager on that one, Derek. Hey, I've been hot lately.
You really have.
I have been hot.
You hit 2 over the weekend.
I hit
and then you
Brooks.
Hit Brooks and the race that you bet on. And then you had a nice Cardinals parlay.
I did. I'm embarrassed to say that I hit Kyle Larson because it's just kind of like a no-brainer to bet Kyle Larson, but you're right. Like I had 3 greens showing. And then I put a little parlay together. And I actually, for the first time in the history of the world, texted you and Trevor with advice that would have worked. Because I'm like, Goldie is due. And that sounds like a perfect dinger Tuesday. And what's he do? He hits 2 Tuesday. So, I might start my own website.
Is it a coincidence that if Ray J. Dennis is undecided, let's say possibly some further NIL negotiations are going on, that Lonte has gone on a betting heater, is flush with cash, and now Illinois maybe has more to throw at Ray J. Dennis. I'm just putting it out there.
I don't know that flush with cash is what I would go with.
Now, it would probably take a week to 10 days for the FanDuel check to get in Lon's
that's
mailbox, but doesn't mean we can't already earmark that for somewhere else.
I can write him a check for a couple Hondo. I mean, is that good? 100, that is. Yeah, listen, I'm excited about what's happening on my winning. Of course, yesterday then I went all crazy. I won't even go into it, but I was like -1.5, and then I did like a certain Panther to score a goal. I did all this craziness. 0 for 6. I was like, okay, now you're back. So let's let it rest. Let it rest. Sit away. Look at the total every once in a while. Be happy that what you got is something that's halfway decent, and then we'll bet later.
It's funny sometimes you go on a little bit of a heater, and like there's groupthink involved sometimes. It's fun to go, like, me and you after a show, sit down. Let's put together a parlay. We'll watch the game.
That is fun.
We'll text back and forth. We'll be rooting for the same thing. But if you solo have something rolling, we probably shouldn't do anything as far as parlay goes. You got to ride this off into the sunset by yourself. Then if you cool off, we can come back and convene and get that going again. But I don't want to mess up your streak, your mojo. So I'll let you do your thing.
We have for years said we are going to finish a show at 5 o'clock in Philo, and we're going to go hit the tavern and Dailies for a cold beer. And we are going to do that. And when we do that, we are going to place a parlay wager on the Cardinals. And we are going to watch the game. And that will happen soon. The weather's nice now. We got to make that. Of course, I'm busy with Andrew, which is fine. I'll continue to do that for a while. I'm good with that. But when that ends, we're going to make this happen.
We'll do it.
We are going to make this happen.
Probably even have a no-run first inning going.
So,
and whether we're, I wouldn't say buying rounds for everybody, but buying more rounds or
can I get the check, please?
Pounding the tables. You'll
Lon,
know
you
which way it went.
Literally had one beer, Lon. I know, but I didn't win my bet. All right, Kyle, I want to ask you this. You got the email. I got the email that showed U of I students, if you don't buy season tickets to Illinois football, which costs you a whopping $80 or something.
85.
85. Sorry, I didn't.
Don't shortchange it.
That's less than free parking in Monopoly, right? When you get the Hondo. Do you guys do that when you play Monopoly? Do you put the 100 by the free parking? So the way we do it is,
you put 100
yes,
in
and then
start, and then anytime you have to pay the fines or anything, you keep filling the middle, and then you land on free parking.
I don't think I start with the 100.
Oh, you don't? Oh, we always do. And if somebody wins, you automatically put another 100 down.
You should.
Yeah, because and then any kind of tax, you got to pay. Like if you land on that darn $45 tax right when you pass go.
Yes.
That's the most frustrating thing to land on. But yeah, then it's like, no, wait, that's not 45. That's by Park Place and Boardwalk. The other one is you got to pay like 10% of your, which we just throw the 200 in when you pass go. That's what we do. I'm not going to sit there and figure out 20% of my revenue every time around the board.
It's the 200.
Yeah, we just throw the 200 in the so park.
Unless you got like $45 left.
Well, yeah, then you
put down 4 and then you grab 2 quarters out of your pocket.
Right, throw those down. But yeah, so the free parking, man, that can get up to like $1,000, which is huge. So, but anyway, long story short, $85 for student season tickets to Illinois football, and basically they're saying if you don't buy those, you don't necessarily get the first pick for season tickets for basketball.
And those sell out in 30 minutes.
I was going to say. So it's interesting. The other thing that occurred, I always park in lot 32, which is right next to lot 31, the grass lot that's the big tailgate lot. And in the past, I've always given $100 to the U of I fund. And it's like, well, that's fine, $100, and then you get your parking pass there. I've been doing it long enough. Well, now this year they sent me an email and said, hey, guess what? There's a lot of extra people that now want to park in lot 32 with you, so you need to pay us $250, and I'm fine to do it. Again, like I said, I feel like I've just been shortchanging Illinois for years. So it's interesting to me, the dynamic of Derek. Brett Bielema's winning football games, and not only that, he's showing people that, he's giving people a lot of faith that that's going to continue. And so you're starting to get season ticket holders. There's a whole new crew of 5,000 to 8,000. So now they're saying, hey, we can get a little edgy now and say, your 100 ain't working anymore. I need your 250. And Kyle, your little not buying season tickets to football, not going to work anymore if you want basketball. I like it. I can't imagine anybody having a problem with that because you're seeing what a normal program, I don't want to say normal, that's not fair, but you're seeing now what a winning program can start to do, and I'm fine with it.
You're paying for a winning product.
Amen.
And that's the bottom line of it. You get to the bowl game last year, a January 2nd type of bowl, and make the progress necessary. You go from 5 wins to, was it a 8-win season? 8-win season? And that's what you hope for. And he's obviously going to have to build on that and continue to give people a reason to come back. And you hope now you get the quarterback transition, you lose some guys to the NFL. If you can continue to be a relevant Big Ten West type of contender, and that will really – people will be willing to fork over some more money if that's the result. If there are relevant football games, which the night game against Iowa was one of my most favorite Illinois football games that I've attended here in recent memory. That was one of those it has been a while since I told my wife, like, I have to be at Memorial Stadium this Saturday.
Yep.
And last season was the first time that I really said that about multiple football games. I know a lot of people feel that around as well. So it makes sense for there to be a little bit of a higher ante in that sense. And they're trying to put money into the program. That goes into the opportunity to upgrade the facilities and everything like that. We know the practice facility is of high level, and I know that there's been thoughts of future renovations within Memorial Stadium too. So as long as the winning product is still there, I don't think anybody's going to complain too much about a little bit of an increase in ticket sales.
Well, and I feel like I've stolen from Illinois the last however many years I've done horseshoe tickets. I mean, it's literally, I remember the first year I did it, they had like the Red Grange deal. It was like $77 for a season ticket. I'm like, $77? Like, if I only go to 2 games, I've made my money back. So, and back then, I believe Lucas had a lot of like cross country or baseball games on Saturdays, and I did have to miss a few Illinois games, but I didn't feel bad about it. I'm like, well, I only paid $77 for season tickets. So I think it's great. And like you just said, everyone knows our affinity for tailgating. That is absolute fun. You get to be around friends. You get to have a good time. You get to embellish a little bit. But you give me any reason to go into Memorial Stadium, that is, boom, to the top of the list in a heartbeat, and last year was proof of that. And so, I mean, just the idea that I was mad at the end of the season that we didn't win the West. When's the last time that you were mad because you didn't win the West? When's the last time you even had a chance to win the West? So, and rightfully so, we should have been mad. That team blew it, if you ask me, down the stretch, and I think Brett Bielema would tell you that. But you know what? The weather wasn't the best, and I think we all know what the weather's like around here come that time of year. So, you know what? That's why he loved the spring game this year when it was freezing and blowing wind and everything. I mean, he kind of understands that that's what you've got to basically get through down the stretch to win games in the Big Ten. So I'm all for it. All right, next hour, Lance Ringler, Golf Week, going to join us about Illinois golf. We'll talk a little bit about that, kind of preview it a little bit before we get rolling. Bill on the U of I Atlanta Link text line, they put $500 in the free parking. Man.
Wow.
That's pretty. Actually, no. Now that I think about it, I totally lied. That's what we do. We put 500. Bill, thank you.
Really?
Yeah, we put 500. I think that's what the directions tell you. Don't they?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, maybe they don't. No, we put 500, Bill. I'm sorry. We do. I promise. We put 500 in there. Scott said everybody should go to Carb Day tomorrow. It's awesome. I've never been to an Indy 500 race, but I've been to Carb Day. I got stories. Not for the air. Not for the air. Yeah, and Justin, I agree. The Indiana game killed you early on. And Jay Lehman sat in that seat that Kyle was in the Monday after that Indiana game and said, we'll be fine. We can still win the West. And I looked at him like, really? And you know what? He was right.
He was.
And he saw something that the novice like me didn't. And he was dead on when it came to that. All right, plenty to talk about, including Illinois golf next hour. If you want to weigh in, again, 359-2255. That's how you get in touch with us. Giving Derek and Kyle a little bit of a break. They've carried the show for 3 days. Yak meat and all. I'm back. It is The Drive.
Looking to eat healthier and buy locally? Savannah Ridge Farms in Indianola, Illinois has been expanding their yak herd for nearly 2 years, offering local farm-to-table meat containing absolutely no antibiotics, no hormones, or steroids. Savannah Ridge Farms is raising 100% all-natural yaks that feed on organic grass and hay in chemical-free open land. Yak meat is one of the best sources of protein and is nearly 100% fat-free. So if you want healthy, nutrient-dense, vitamin-packed red meat without the worry of how it got to your plate, visit SavannahRidgeFarms.com and check out their Facebook page. Look for Savannah Ridge Farms at Urbana's Market at the Square on Saturdays. They deliver to Champaign and Vermilion counties, and you can also pick them up at their farm. Visit SavannahRidgeFarms.com for incredibly healthy yak meat. SavannahRidgeFarms.com.
When you're looking for a business to work with, you choose someone local, someone who's terrific at what they do. A company that helps others in need in Champaign-Urbana, and a company that stands behind what they do. That company is Roof Doctors. Roof Doctors has been keeping the rain out for over 30 years. Randy and Tammy and their family work hard to not only make sure you're 100% satisfied by their work, but that they also strive to have a positive impact on Champaign-Urbana. Roof Doctors in Urbana, they make you their number one priority.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
The president's negotiating team has had productive discussions with the speaker's team, and those discussions continue.
White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre, as the president says he believes a deal can be reached with House Republicans who say spending must be addressed as part of raising the debt ceiling. Though Speaker McCarthy has also offered reassurance about avoiding default. The president tapping the Air Force Chief of Staff, General Charles C.Q. Brown, to be the new chairman of the Joint Chiefs, praising his experience as an F-16 pilot, a commander in Europe and Asia, and someone who isn't afraid to speak his mind.
Someone who'll deliver an honest message that needs to be heard, and will always do the right thing when it's hard. That's the number one quality a president needs in a chairman.
General Brown, the first black service chief, has talked openly about overcoming racism in the military, posting a message to service members after the death of George Floyd. Minneapolis holds a candlelight vigil tonight marking 3 years since Floyd's killing. The president renewing his call for Congress to pass police reform. President Biden says the U.S. Supreme Court is taking the country backwards with today's decision on water regulations.
The High Court ruled the EPA can't use the Federal Clean Water Act to police all U.S. waters. An Idaho couple has been fighting with the agency for years, hoping to build a home on what the owners called a soggy lot. The EPA stopped them, threatening fines if the couple altered the property. The justices all agreed the EPA overstepped its authority, but disagreed on reasoning. 5 justices said Clean Water Act rules govern only wetlands. The 4 others stipulated limiting the Act's scope could have an effect on pollution control.
Fox's Gernal Scott. The High Court also ruled against the EPA in a Clean Water Act decision last year. America is listening to Fox News.
I can't wait for what's next. Even with higher stroke risk due to atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Eliquis, the Pixaban tablets, reduces stroke risk. It's the #1 cardiologist prescribed blood thinner.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or have antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising, or if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take medicines such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
The head of the Oath Keepers, convicted of seditious conspiracy, gets 18 years in prison, the longest sentence yet over the Capitol riot, though federal prosecutors wanted 25 years. Edward Tarpley is one of the defense attorneys for Stewart Rhodes.
Well, I think that this case was all about the weaponization of speech by the Department of Justice. And I think that essentially they have used Stewart Rhodes' words against him.
They argued there was no plan to attack the Capitol, and Rhodes plans to appeal his conviction. Another Oath Keepers member convicted of seditious conspiracy, the head of the Florida chapter, has just been sentenced to 12 years in prison. A college professor is now charged over an incident that got her fired in New York City.
Shailene Rodriguez faces 1 count of menacing and 1 count of harassment, both of those in the 2nd degree. She has brass knuckles tattooed on her bicep. She has FTP tattooed on her fingers, which often stands for F the police. She smiled at the cameras while leaving the police station for the courthouse. All this comes after a New York Post video where she's accused of holding a machete to a reporter's throat. Hunter College fired Rodriguez after that, and now she's reacting to it. Art News reports Rodriguez issued a statement saying the school, quote, capitulated to racist, white nationalist, and misogynist in firing her.
Fox's Nate Foy. Rodriguez had already come under scrutiny after confronting running an anti-abortion group on campus earlier this month. Now her position with another college is under review. America is aging rapidly. New census figures show the share of U.S. residents ages 65 or older grew by more than 1/3 from 2010 to 2020, while the share of children declined. This as baby boomers turned 65 and births dropped as millennials moved into their 20s and 30s. A mixed day for stocks. The NASDAQ up more than 1%, but the Dow dropped 35 points. And Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois. Champaign-Urbana has Saturday. Little change to the weather maps and charts over the next 7 to 10 days. No rain in sight. A couple of cloud patches around for the day today, but that, as far as dry, closest rain, couple of sprinkles up in parts of southern Wisconsin. There may be signs of a boundary trying to set up closer to home here late next weekend into the following weekend. Hang in there. We'll see what transpires here on the issuance of that drought monitor. Sure, there's been some worsening across the area. Mostly sunny, breezy, cooler weather for the day today. That's the trade-off for this particular setup. A nice day at 73. Gusty northeast wind. Clear cool tonight down to 46. Tomorrow sunny and 77 for the holiday weekend. Lots of sunshine. 80 on Saturday. A few more clouds Sunday at 82. A sunny warm Memorial Day Monday at 86. Into the upper 80s we go on Tuesday. Perhaps our first 90-degree day, and some building humidity in here next Wednesday and Thursday. And it's late next week into the following weekend that we do introduce a couple of showers and thunderstorms. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm Rochester. Greg Solier.
Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
Check. I literally just create madness.
Well, they're up.
I'm going to go off here.
They don't have a great quarterback.
I got to take a break. I'm getting in trouble.
To win the Big Ten, you first got to win the West.
Bad Bunny.
Have you heard his name in a while?
No.
Has it bothered you?
No. Defensively, they got to come in with some confidence.
Is that even analytics?
I'm in a parking garage. I'm kind of lost.
Terrence Shannon, Matthew Meyer, RJ Melendez, Coleman Hawkins.
These trophy presentations aren't over. I didn't come here to go 5-7.
I'm so proud of Illinois football right now. I'm so tired of Joel Embiid.
We're not taking Patrick Corbin.
I want to bet the Bears.
Oh.
You are Reba McEntire's niece.
Roshan Russell.
Coach Bielma.
You no longer salute to yourself.
What?
We got all kinds of things for you here.
There's a lot of glass.
Oh.
Guys, we have breaking news.
Uh-oh.
It's The Drive.
Schmack Dogs. Oh, yeah. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. It is The Drive, ESPN Radio 93.5. Lante is back. That could be a pun as well, because my back set me out for the last 3 days, but I'm back. The back is fine. I literally could not stand or sit and find relief. So, like Tuesday, I went to the office and tried to work, and a customer came in, and about 10 minutes later, I finally said, I hate to do this, but I've got to go lay down. Or I'm going to puke all over my desk. I was in that much pain. So I just thought to you guys, I'm like, I don't think I'm going to try to come in here and sit or stand. And I didn't really want to try to do the radio show laying flat on my back. I don't know that the microphones could even get down that far. But maybe. That would have been an interesting.
And then with every grimace, it'd be like, man, did he not like what I said there?
I'm like, oh. Boy, Lon is shifting around a lot today. He must not like what I'm saying. No, yeah, it was pure hell. That's exactly what it was. That's just blah.
Did you ever find anything good on Netflix? Or was that just a complete dud?
No, I honestly just wasted time trying to find stuff. I think I'm Netflixed out. Like, I watched Hatfield and McCoy again. I think I'd seen that already. I did watch the Conor McGregor. It's like a 4-part. Have you seen that?
I've not.
Really good. He is a beast. And it's interesting to kind of, they even, I think of all the fights, there's even 2 or 3 that he loses while they're doing this documentary, because they started it back before COVID. So, but they follow him in terms of his workouts. That guy, there is something inside of him. And he says it. He basically just says, if you want to be good at this,
you have to be a maniac. Like, you have to train. You have to want to train so much. So every day, like, he's in his garage. You know the row machine? He's doing that, like, seemingly the entire show. He's doing this row machine. And he breaks, like, an arm or a wrist or something, so they have to rig it up to where he can still do the row machine. And his doctor's like, I don't think that's good for you. And of course, he's just ripped everywhere, right? I mean, his stomach, you're just like, holy crap. I don't know. The mentality of a UFC fighter, an MMA, you guys, no way would I go into an octagon with one of those people, female or male. No way. I just don't have that next, I don't even know what you call it. I would be terrified.
More terrified than a herd of yak.
Staring down yak? I think I'd rather stare down the yak. I honestly do. Than looking across and seeing Conor McGregor smiling at me going, yeah, I'm about to kick you in the face. Or I don't even want to. What was that?
I think it was decent.
Was that, what is he? Is
he Irish?
Irish. Was that, do they say A? That's Canadian.
That's a little Canadian.
I think I went Canadian-Irish there on you. I don't know.
Maybe the fight's in Toronto. So
top of the day. Yeah. I've never been very good at my accents, that's for sure.
I appreciate the attempts. I don't think I would try that. Kyle, you got any accents you want
to try it, Kyle?
Attempt?
No. I
No.
don't want to embarrass myself.
You've got a green shirt on, kind of an Irish.
It's not really the Irish color, though.
Oh, okay. They
Michigan
adopted.
State?
Yeah, Michigan State, Boston Celtics, the luck of the Irish.
Kind of going for the Miami Dolphins color.
No, it is kind of a teal, isn't it? What a wimpy color. I mean, seriously, teal. You and the Jaguars in your teal. Cliff said I'm back from assignment. Cliff in Urbana. Yeah, I was out doing some stuff. My nephew, I was very proud of him. He went down today in the long jump in Charleston and according to his mom, would have broken the school record, but he fouled. He scratched. And
so what does that mean?
So you step over the line. Yeah. And he did on all three. Bless his heart.
Who's watching that stuff?
Yeah, come on. It's a kid. You know, he's 16, 17 years old. Let it go. Yeah, there's probably some guy that's like 80 that sits there and stares at that, and then he holds up a little flag like, nah. Did you? Okay, so I was going through this. This is how bad of a track athlete I was when I still ran. It was early in my career in high school because I got Osgood Schlatter in my right knee, which is when your joints grow too fast and you have to stop running, essentially. But I was a pretty good runner. I was a pretty good long-distance runner. I ran like the mile and the 2. But I was also that guy that my coach, whenever, like, you know, we had a lot of dual meets, right, against like ABL, Allerton, Broadlands, Longview against Villa Grove in this major Tuesday afternoon track meet. So what you would do is, like, coach would come up to me and say, hey, Lon, I need you to run the 100 tonight because there's only 7 entered and we could use the point. So I would go to the start line, and I was the only person that didn't have the blocks. Like, how embarrassing is that? So everybody else has got their blocks down. You know, they're, like, down on the ground, like, stretching their leg out behind him, and I'm just kind of standing there going, And I'm like, oh, here we go. You know, like, knowing I'm going to finish 8th. It's like, oh, that was me. But I never did the long jump. Never did or the high jump, and I never did hurdles. I pretty much told coach.
No jumping.
No, nothing to do with jumping because I can't do it. So yeah, no. Can I say something? You know the cool story, and I know I heard your show that you hadn't really paid attention to that Michael Block at the PGA, the tour or the PGA Pro essentially that just made headlines, hit the hole in one, played with Rory.
How do you even get in there?
I don't know, but here's the thing. He's played in other PGA events, so he's interesting to me because I know, like, at the U.S. Open, you can qualify for it, right? You have to have, like, I think you have to have a scratch handicap anyway. Like, you have to be scratch to even attempt to qualify for the Open, but somebody from Champaign, for instance, could make it to the U.S. Open by doing that. He must have an exemption, or what am I, not an exemption. What's the What's the word I'm looking for? Like when the Illini golfers would go play in the John Deere Classic, they would be, is it called exemption? Whatever it is, like they were allowed to, like somebody said, hey, the John Deere Classic said, we want to include you, Dylan Meyer, to come, bring some fans. But anyway, so this Michael Block has played in a few tournaments, but he was truly incredible. And I know that everybody, and then he had to get it up and down on 18 to make the PGA Tour or the PGA Championship next year, and he did it. A really hard up and down. He nailed it, so he gets to play in the PGA again. And then the next 2 tournaments said, "Come play with us." So now he's playing in these tournaments. But it's funny because my group that I text, they're like, here's what they're saying. They're like, Block is getting a bit cocky now, talking to the gallery after each shot. Guys are going to start hating him soon. And I guess Twitter's starting to rip on him right now. And the other day I heard he had a discussion with somebody that was talking to him about he and Rory. And they asked him the difference, and he said, it's length. He's like, Rory hits the ball so much further than I do. He's like, my putting and chipping around the green, it's as good as anybody. So if I had the length of Rory, I think I could dominate. That's what he said. I'm like, whoa, dude, slow down. Like, you literally, nobody knew your name before last Thursday, and now all of a sudden you're like, I could dominate the world. So I don't know. It was just it's kind of weird because it's a good story and you don't want it to get bad. Does that make sense? Mm. But I'll be honest, when I look at the dude, I'm like, I bet he's pretty cocky. I bet he's a pretty cocky dude. But he'll go out. He probably goes and drinks 12-pack and smokes you. Shoots like a 68. You're shooting like 82. What are we kidding?
It's nice of you.
Yeah. 102. It's like, come on. Anyway, I don't know. I saw that. That was just kind of weird. So, whatever.
Well, that'd be like if I came in here and said, if I was built like LeBron James,
yeah,
I'd be in the league right now.
Yeah. If I was 6'8", I would have made the NBA. It's like, are you sure? I mean, I wouldn't doubt you, Derek. I'd be like, hey, okay. I appreciate your confidence. But, you don't just,
Can you even dribble with your left hand?
Right. I mean, that's just, I don't know. It's just kind of weird and it's just kind of frustrating, but that's the way it happens. And I don't know.
Hey, you had a hole in one. That was pretty cool.
Incredible because the thing went right in the hole. I mean, you don't see that very often, right? You see normally a ball hit the green, spin back into the hole, or hit the green and skip up and just roll into the hole. To literally make it on the fly was so strange. But it was cool. I mean, it was a cool moment, and I don't know. It was just a cool story that I don't want to become
I get what you're saying.
A bad one.
Yeah. And I don't want to totally defend for him, but like if I get a hole in one at putt-putt, I might say some outlandish stuff too. I might be feeling myself.
It is kind of nice to put that one down on the
It is. And had you been to the one, I think it's since closed, it was on Prospect.
Yes.
You get the hole in one, you get up, they give you an orange ball or something. Like you get the special colored ball. Like I got the hole in one ball. Plus like a little scratch off.
That one was like that was a really unique putt-putt course. You had to hit through the elephant's mouth or what, or through the trunk or
it had like the ramps.
Yes. Now the one in Savoy right by Old Orchard, that is a really nice.
I like that one.
Yep. Holy cow. That's like playing Augusta of putt-putts. I mean, it's like really nice. And so every once in a while, I know Andrew and his friends, they haven't done it in a while, but they're busy, I guess. But every once in a while, they'll go play putt-putt there. That's, do you guys like bowling?
I like it.
I do too. I enjoy doing it.
I haven't done it that often recently, but.
My dad was, I guess, a pretty good bowler back in the day. And I can remember going to watch him at bowling alleys across central Illinois. That had to have been an exciting thing. Well, today we're in Arcola. All right, Neil, where are we at tomorrow? But he would bowl and his thumb would pop. Like, so when he, not pop like bad, like the noise when he released it would be like, I don't know, it'd make some noise, which is kind of cool. And then, back then I was really young. I was like, oh, my dad's pretty good at bowling. If I tried to go bowl now, if I get 100, it is like a miracle. Seriously, I am horrible at bowling. Like when I put the ball down, it goes in one direction. It's normally right at the corner. I'm just praying that it hits one of the pins. I am horrible at bowling.
So frustrating.
It really is.
Do you put spin on it? I don't. I just bowl it straight.
I do actually. When I was younger, I didn't have the strength in my wrist. So I would almost spin the ball, like counterclockwise. So if I started it at, there's the arrows. If I started it between the first and second on the right-hand side, it would usually spin back to where it needed to be to make a strike, but it was going so slow by the time it finally got there. Instead of like exploding the pins, it would just be like tick, 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 and like 4 of them would fall. And the ball would like stop.
That's dominoes.
Right. So bowling's just, and when you're, okay, let me be careful here. When you're fairly athletic and there's one thing you can't do, it's just, it's mind-boggling to me. It's nerve-wracking. No, it's not it's frustrating. Because, I could pick up a baseball and go throw it right now, and not one person would be like, oh, whoa, he never played baseball. I mean, you would think that I played baseball. I can throw a football. I can shoot a basketball. And you'd be like, all right, I can golf usually. I need to get back out there and get that going again.
Were you any good in soccer? Because that was the one for me.
So we did it for a week at a time in PE at Villa Grove. From 1984 through 88, we had 1 week we played soccer. And, Derek, I was this wee little guy and could run forever. As mentioned, I used to run the 2 and the 1, the 2 mile and the 1 mile in track, and run cross country. I just could. You just give me a Mountain Dew at like 3:14, shoot the gun, and it's like, I got blocked. And I just work up all that energy and sugar from the Mountain Dew. But soccer, I was actually halfway decent at. But I didn't know I was because I had never watched it. I mean, I didn't know anything about soccer. I just knew you had to kick it into that net. But I could outrun everybody and stay, in other words, they would get tired and I wouldn't. So I think I would have been pretty good at soccer.
I was embarrassingly bad at soccer.
Oh.
And as a guy that I like to think of myself growing up was a decent athlete. So you'd get in PE when you would play soccer and they start to pick teams like, Piper.
Piper.
Yep. I'm like, man, you're going to be so disappointed. You're going to be so disappointed. I can throw it really hard. I cannot kick for anything.
No.
So sorry to those that got a bust in the lottery.
It's amazing to watch high-level soccer and how they do what they do. It's incredible. It is incredible. Now, tennis, Kyle, you're a stud tennis player. I played tennis. My brother and I played tennis all the time at the Camargo Park, and we were the typical. If we each had 100 serves, first serves, 3 of them would go in, and then when you did get it in, it wasn't coming back, right?
Right.
And you were like, oh, ace, and my brother would be like, okay. And then at the second one, if it doesn't go in, like if you hit it long or hit the net, the second one is this little barely throw it in the air and just like dink, over the net. And then as I got a little bit older, I could hit it a little bit harder on the second one, but it still was like, but I loved tennis. I need to get out and play more tennis. That's a great exercise. But you can probably like work your wrist to where you're getting it, over the net and it's going down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I could do that every once in a while, but mostly they hit the back wall at Ubben. Or not at Ubben, I'm sorry, at Atkins. When I was doing a tennis, I used to do a Friday. It was a Friday afternoon, like noon to 1. It was like a, what do you call that? It was a tennis like boot camp. And it was every Friday, and I'm not kidding you, I would sweat through a shirt every Friday. And they would run you through drills, and oh my goodness. And then here's the funny part. So at the time, I want to say I'm like 36, playing fast pitch, in shape. So we'd get through all these drills, and they're like, all right, let's match up and play singles or doubles. And there'd be a guy across the net that's like 74. And I'm like, oh, hey, Gary, I guess it's you and I, And so Gary had come out and just run me baseline to the point where he's just laughing. And would win every freaking point. And I could never beat him. And it just was so frustrating to watch somebody that's that good at placing a ball wherever he wanted to. And here's me just trying to be athletic. And he would just be like, all right, I'm going to hit it over to the left side now. Now I'm going to hit it to the right side. You're just like, stop it, Gary. Gary, you're an ass, man. Actually, Gary's a made-up name for everybody that was like that just literally did that to me. And Kyle, you could probably do that to me right now.
I'd hope so.
Kyle's not exactly a trash talker.
That's what they teach you, though, is, hey, move them back and forth, get them running.
Yeah? Well, that worked. I know Lucas played his, junior and senior year, and he was, his senior year grew to 6'2" or something, and his strategy was to just stay by the net. So in doubles, he was actually pretty potent because it'd be hard to hit it over him, and then he'd just smash it down. But if anybody got it over him, then it was trouble. I'm like, oh, he's not going to get that. So, hey, you know what? Sports are fun.
Fun discussion.
Croquet. How about yard jarts?
Jarts?
Jarts. Do you remember those?
No.
Okay, you guys are too young for those. I think they outlaw them now because it's literally a weapon. I mean, really, you have to look this up on Google. Jarts were like a weapon. And so I think they literally said, we got to quit making yard jarts. It was like a piece of metal.
Yeah.
That if you you could put it through your brother's foot if you did it wrong. It's like, okay, no more yard jarts.
Jarts missile game.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. This is what we did. We drove when the family would go to St. Louis. I would lay in the very back of the car up on by the window. No seatbelts. I mean, we were we were wild. And I'm here to tell you about it. Yard jarts and all. Isn't that crazy?
Sales were banned in 1988 because there were so many injuries.
My senior year of high school, they're like, nope, enough of the jarts. Yard jarts. Yeah, that was a great game. Are you guys any good at checkers?
I never played checkers. Chess occasionally.
See, I don't have the mental. I don't want to try to out-mental someone because I don't have the ability to do that. I don't want to sit there and be like, okay, if I jump him here, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And then I do it, and then they go click, 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 and boom. And I'm like, see, I'm not good with that stuff. Nah. What's some other sports?
Mess around with some bocce.
Oh, I love that.
Is it bocce or bocce?
I always say bocce.
Probably. So down in southern Illinois, there's a town called Heron, which is where Itch Jones is from, and Steve Fisher, who happened to lead Michigan past Illinois in '89. Thanks for bringing that up, Lon. They have the Heron Festa Italiana or something. And it is, listen, it is a fun time. When I was down there, I remember my TV station was like, hey, we need you to go cover this bocce tournament. I'm like, really? So I did, and I did a story on it. And then while I was there, there's there's 8 beer gardens going the entire time at 11 a.m. And I'm like, I might need to come back over here tonight. And I did every year. But it was a really cool Heron. I think it was the Heron Festa Italiana, I think is what it was. All right, have we covered about every sport? Like skiing, have you ever skied?
No.
I've never skied.
I skied one time and I was young, and they gave me skis that were half the size of a regular ski. So I felt idiotic even going to do it. But I could stay up where my friends were falling down because their skis were so long. I actually stayed up, but I looked like, I don't know.
I tried water skiing, and that was
I've never tried it.
But no skiing at all.
The other day, not the other day, it's 2 years ago, somebody asked me about, would you ever water ski? I'm like, not now. And they're like, why? And I'm like, look, I'm 50, drink. Now I'm 52, drink. But it was at the time, I'm like, I'm not going to try to attempt to learn something that looks difficult at 21. I'm not going to try to attempt to learn that at 50. That's nothing's going to come of that. That's good. I'm going to wipe out.
Well, then every fall is harder to bounce back from. Even at my age of 32,
no,
it's not like I'm 16. Let's run it again.
That water's got to hurt. It doesn't.
When I go
good.
tubing, I haven't been in a long time, but when you get thrown, it's
the tubing, man.
And usually you lose the trunks a lot of times.
Yeah. Yep, I know. Yep, that's exactly right. Ron Zook was a big water ski guy. He did didn't he do maybe not professional, but he was a major water ski guy, jumper, I think. Because there's a lake right outside of Decatur that's built for it, and he would go over there all the time with speedboat. A speedboat would have him, and then he'd jump. I'm pretty positive of that. So interesting stuff. All right, I didn't talk any sports there. So I apologize.
If you don't like the water ski, croquet, tennis talk,
I mean,
tweet at Ray J. Dennis and say, make a decision, buddy. It's his fault, not ours.
This is not a drive issue. This is a Ray J. Dennis issue.
Yes.
All right, we will give you an update on that, but when we come back, we are going to talk sports, and I think everybody is fired up about this. Illinois golf starts the NCAA play tomorrow at Grayhawk in Scottsdale. Our buddy Lance Ringler from Golf Week is in Scottsdale right now, and he's going to join us when we return. Be fun to kind of get his thoughts on not only Illinois, which he's always high on, Mike Small's squad, but who else? Who do we need to look at and say, oh, I hope you don't make the Final Eight? So we'll do that next with Lance Ringler. It is The Drive.
Pia's opens every morning, daily at 7 a.m. You will find it all at Pia's with live video gaming, sports, food, drinks, and fun. See you at Pia's, West Springfield Avenue in Champaign. Serving food 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. and drinks until 2 a.m. daily. Pia serves up its famous 10-ounce Slugger Burger, along with great wings and so much more. You will find it all at Pia's with live video gaming, sports, food, drinks, and fun. See you at Pia's, West Springfield Avenue in Champaign.
The Stars of Mars race under the Friday night lights for the Mars Modified Championships, sponsored by Summit Racing Equipment. $5,000 to win Mars late models, $2,000 to win Mars Modifieds. Head to Farmer City this Friday night, May 26th, as you get into your Memorial Day holiday weekend. For details, head to farmercityracing.com. You'll buy the whole seat, but you only need the edge.
John, the price of groceries is enough to send somebody into a panic mode these days.
Yeah, especially when the refrigerator goes kaput.
Even more so. We got a call from a customer who had that problem with a freezer load of those expensive groceries.
And that'll keep you awake at night just thinking about it.
Right. So, because Dick Van Dyke stocks the 100 most used parts, we were able to send a factory-trained tech out to her place to fix the problem before she lost any of that food.
And he wasn't some subcontractor either.
Trained right here locally by the team of Dick Van Dyke.
You know, one way to fight inflation?
Yep.
Keep from having to buy expensive stuff twice.
This is Dennis Regan, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store, which means you have the comfort of knowing that if anything goes wrong, we'll make it right. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. We stand behind what we sell. We offer so much more. Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Hey, Stevie J, we have a brand new Steve review today from Greenview. How would you like to plant a tree? I tell you what, I'll give you a tree planting, like an ornamental tree. Greenview does so much with your yard. They can flower it, they can mow it, they can build you a backyard gas grill. Whatever you're looking for, Greenview can put the pergola up as well. Today I'm planting trees, and I'm going to give you a tree planting. So if you'd like a free tree, they'll come and they'll show you how incredible they are. They're locally owned. You'll like Greenview. They're terrific at what they do. So all you have to do is text in Greenview if you want me to help plant a tree for you. I'll pay. All right, that's your Steve Ralph for the program where I give you my money. You get to spend it and keep it today from a great company called Greenview, a tree planting. Just text in Greenview right now, 217-359-2255, and good luck.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. Take a look around your home. Is it finally ready for some much-needed updates? If you don't know where to start, then just meet with one of our experts. We'll help you find the perfect waterproof plank floor for your kitchen or that stain-resistant, super soft carpet for your bedroom. Finish your room update with a custom sofa and chairs, or choose a trendy in-stock dining set that's priced right. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Illini fans, stock up on great Illini gear this summer at the official fan store of the Fighting Illini, Game Day Spirit. Their famous buy one, get one free shirt selection is perfect for summer and has some great new designs. Shop their line of polos and other business casual apparel from great brands like Nike, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and more. Refresh your wardrobe this summer at Game Day Spirit, located at the corner of Neal and Kirby in Champaign, 6th and Green in Campustown, and online at GameDaySpirit.com. Game Day Spirit, where Illini fans shop.
Hi, it's Stevie J. Sit back and relax and take the drive with Lonte and Derek Piper. Weekdays 4 to 6 right here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Hey, Rick and Leroy didn't like my glory days. Come on, Rick. I threw a little yard charts at you. I mean, come on. That's good. Banned in 88. Kyle, real quick before we get to Lance Ringler, because I know Lance Ringler played with yard darts or jarts, whatever. Can you give us again why they were banned? Yeah, go ahead.
Between 78 and 86, they were responsible for an estimated 6,100 emergency room trips and 3 deaths.
Oh, my goodness. Does it say if it was the yellow or the blue? I mean, was there a certain color that was more dangerous?
That information's not available.
Okay. Yeah. Lance Ringler, did you ever throw the old yard charts around?
You betcha.
Don't even ask how we got to that.
I mean, you put the little ring out there, and then you start throwing them, and they turned over perfectly. It was so much better than horseshoes. And yeah, that was great, and they just disappeared.
They did. And if you accidentally drilled your brother in the foot, I mean, you know what? That's part of the game.
Well, you know what happened when you did that? Everybody laughed.
Right.
Did you see that? Did you see that?
He's bleeding. This is awesome.
Yeah, this is awesome.
And just like I played him without drinking, I can't imagine now what it would be like now. I mean, it's probably good they banned those things. That is funny. All right, Lance Ringler, Golf Week. He is our golf guy, and we always appreciate him taking time to join us. He is in Scottsdale. I assume it's hot and sunny in Scottsdale.
Yeah, there's usually not a cloud in the sky.
No.
Yeah, it's hot. It's not too hot though. I mean, 95-ish.
Okay.
You know, so that's not too bad. But you get a little bit of breeze, but it just bakes you. I mean, when you're in it all day, it just wears you out. And this championship is. I mean, it's just hard here because it's so long, and you have to be able to adapt to the climate and the heat and just what it does to your body and your brain.
That's the thing, mentally tough as well.
Yeah.
Now, you said long because the tournament lasts for like 7 days, but the course itself, according to Tommy Kuhl and some of the Illini guys, is a little bit shorter of a course. Can you kind of explain to those that haven't been to Grayhawk what these players will be facing over the next week?
Well, it's typical desert golf here. It's narrow. There's not a lot of room. A lot of people like to call it target golf. I mean, you got to hit it and play. The thing that's different about maybe this course compared to many desert courses that I'm used to is there's actually rough. The rough has grown up here. So you have the fairway, then you have rough, and then you have lost balls. So it's just difficult from that standpoint. But these guys they're so good. They drive it so far. They hit it so straight for the most part, and you put short irons in their hands and. There's not a lot of defense when it comes to golf. Here in the desert, the sports have not been as well as what people might have thought. I mean, they bake it up or they firm it up a little bit. It's pretty dry and fast, and greens get really slick. So I mean, when you miss a shot here, it's pretty penal because there isn't a lot of room for missing.
Lance, we spoke to Tommy Kuhl last week, and he mentioned they got a chance when they were out west earlier this season to play Grayhawk a little bit. So have some familiarity with that course. How much value is there? You mentioned some of the changes, which you usually expect going into a tournament. They try to make it tougher, but how much value is it that they've seen that course? Although I imagine some other teams have done the same.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of value to it, but a lot of teams have done that. I mean, I would. And that's a good question on maybe asking the number of teams. It might be over half the field has been here within the last 12 months to play, or even 6 months. So a lot of teams have done that, but it's good because it lets you get accustomed to it and get a feel and understand a little bit. And the other thing a lot of teams have done, they've been out here for a few days. So they played different places. They played at Talking Stick or Mirabelle or Southern Dunes or somewhere around the area to get a feel for just hitting shots in this climate.
Illinois over there in the Michigan State Regional finished second, obviously enough to advance. Georgia had the best showing of that bunch. What did you think of what Illinois was able to do and Georgia among the contenders? I know we want to talk to you about some of those other teams that Illinois should look out for as this thing pushes forward. But what did you think of Illinois' regional effort and how they're trending into this NCAA championships?
Well, for all the teams, regionals is basically, I mean, you play, Coach Small will tell you every time they play, they're playing to win. So, obviously, a team of Illinois' caliber, they're just trying to win. But the other thing you have to remember, it doesn't matter if you finish first or fifth.
Right.
There are no trophies. It just basically gives you a ticket to come to Scottsdale and Greyhawk. So, they were expected to get out. They did get out. Now they're here. Now the real tournament starts. And like I said, it's just a long process here. You have to survive that 15-hole cut. Then you have to get inside the top 8, and then from there you got to win 3 matches. So it's a daunting task for anyone.
Lance, I'll ask you this: out of the top 30 teams that are in Scottsdale, without saying the names, are there maybe 5 to 8 teams that you just pretty much know aren't going to make the cut of 15 or 8?
That's fair. I mean, yeah, you could probably pick the bottom. 8 would be fair. There's probably you could probably cross off 8 and say they probably won't make the top 15. But the top 15 isn't. I mean, it's hard, but it's doable for a lot of teams. I mean, there's teams that are, it's doable. But the real catch is the top 8. I mean, how many teams legitimately have a shot at that top 8?
Right.
The field is so deep now. There's so many good teams, and you might be able to realistically say, without stretching, 15 teams all have a shot at that top 8. So that's half the field. And then from there, basically what you're saying is half the field has a chance to win a national championship.
Wow.
Because once you get to match play, anything can happen.
Lance, obviously it's different than the NCAA tournament for basketball. I know that you're a hoops fan. I know that Lon pokes fun because you're an Indiana fan, and that's the one clash that you guys have. But how hard is it for an underdog to make a run? Is there ever a St. Peter's story in college golf? Is that a possibility in something like this?
We haven't really seen that because there's layers to it, because they have to get through that regional, and and then from there they have to get through that. They have to get to that top 8. So there are layers to it that prevent that from happening. If it was all head-to-head match play starting at the regional, you absolutely would see a St. Peter's. But you don't really see that. I'm trying to think. Maybe way back, 10, 12 years ago, Michigan ranked like 42 or something, made a run to the championship match and lost to Arkansas, I believe. Texas A&M. So you really don't get that because the layers before that prevent that underdog, because it's not head-to-head play. If you did have head-to-head match play starting with like 81 teams, you would see that, but you don't really see that at this level.
Lance Ringler, Golf Week. A couple more for you, Lance. As you look at, obviously, like you said, there's still a loaded field here that any of them could give Illinois fits in terms of trying to get Mike Small's first national title. Who are some teams that I would love to not make the top 8? That sounds mean, but
yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, and the thing about it is, I've talked about this before with golf. You can't get caught up worrying about that stuff because you cannot control your opponent.
Right.
You can't,
good point.
There's nothing you can do. There's zero that you can do to put a defense on your opponent, unlike another sport. So, Illinois just has to. It's unique. They just have to take care and control what they can control, and that's play good golf. But obviously, you don't want to see a Vanderbilt who's really good. If those top teams, if Arizona State, a couple of those teams could miss. There's several teams. Pretty much anybody in the top 10, if they could miss, it's just going to give them a better chance. But once again, though, match play. If you got a second, I could tell you how crazy match play it is, and why I'm not a big fan of it.
Okay, plenty of time. So go.
Okay, Stanford's women just completed Greyhawk. We played here for 3 years, and now we move on. The 3 years here, Stanford women completely dominated the sport, the field. Have been the class of women's college golf. We would be talking dynasty-like.
Wow.
But we aren't because of match play. Stanford women only won 1 championship. But listen to what they did. They won the stroke play 3 times out of 3 tries. So they were national stroke play champions, if you will. They were 75-0. They never lost to a team in stroke play. But in match play, they lost as the number 1 seed to the 8th seed, Arizona. Then the second year, they won it all. And then this year, they lost in the Final Four, the semifinals, to USC. Not only that, they had 3 individual champions in Rachel Heck and then Rose Zhang the last 2 years. So you're talking about a team, Stanford women's golf, completely dominated the sport. But because the NCAA elected to use match play to decide its champion, they only have 1 championship, and they don't really talk about Stanford in the way they should be talking about Stanford. So that kind of tells you,
wow,
it's just really difficult once you get here.
That's an amazing story. Why did they change it? I know when you hear Mike Small, he'll say, it makes it more exciting. It's more for the viewers. Well, is that why they changed that?
Well, can I cough when I say this so I don't really say this?
Yeah.
TV.
Exactly.
TV dictates.
Yep.
It's all dictated by TV. I mean, and I get it. And they say match play is more exciting for television, but I'll tell you right now, Wake Forest and USC just played yesterday. One match went to 17 and it didn't even count. All the matches ended on 14-15, and it was boring as boring can be. It was just awful.
Yeah.
And they ended up winning. They would have won the match 4-1. No drama, no nothing. So that's boring. And match play opens the door for the underdog, the prize, the element, the dramatic finish. But stroke play can do that too.
Yeah,
and,
I agree.
Just like I said, my biggest problem is I don't mind it because it does give us more to talk about, and at times it is exciting, and that head-to-head component is cool, obviously, in all sports. But, the best team, the number 1 seed or the team that has won stroke play on the men's side, only one time have they ever gone on to win the whole thing. That was Oklahoma State one time. So you're talking, 14 years, and the number 1 team has only won one?
Wow. That is amazing. I tell you what, I look at this.
Think about that Illinois team a few back, 10 years ago?
Yep.
They won the stroke play. Clearly, maybe this team, some people might say, is better than that Illinois team. But that Illinois team that year was incredible.
And then lost to Oregon, right, on their home course.
Was that the, yeah, yes, that's right. I was thinking maybe Crabapple, but that was California. So, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because
there you go, on their home course.
Right, and that's what you had mentioned earlier. You can't play defense against your opponent, which I totally agree. But that was the one thing that Oregon had the advantage, and that's what scares me about Arizona State. But is this the Sun Devils' home course?
It's not, but it's close.
Yeah, right, close enough.
Yeah.
Here's my last question for you, Lance. Mike Small came out recently in a great interview and, just said, listen, if I don't ever win the national title, it's not going to haunt me, right? I have done amazing things here. I have done what I wanted to do. I understand how difficult it is. We look at it from a local angle. And obviously, all of us are pulling for Mike Small. I mean, I don't know that I've ever wanted an Illinois coach to win a national title more than him. I know I haven't, more than Mike Small. Maybe Lou Henson back in the day. But from a national perspective, if Mike Small never wins a national title, does that take anything away from how he's viewed by everybody in the golf world?
No, not really. I mean, I just looked up last night. There's 11. There's 11 active coaches who have won a national championship before. Out of all the coaches currently coaching college golf. Wow. But only 11 can say they've won a national championship. So that's not very many.
No.
Really, when you think about it.
Nope.
So, and a lot of people on the national scene, Mike's well respected by his peers for doing things the right way and being a good coach. So there's a lot of people that are pulling for him. And the same with Matt Thurman from Arizona State. He's kind of in the same boat with there's two and in fact, you guys, I'm writing a column right now on that exact topic of Matt Thurman and Mike Small and how they're maybe could go down as two of the best coaches in NCAA golf history that might not ever win a championship. So, but I want to go back when you say Mike says that it won't bother him that much, and I'll say bull. We know how competitive he is. He wants to win, but he understands the big picture. He understands it. So, he wants to win as bad as anyone.
That is awesome. Well, listen, follow Lance on Twitter at Golf Week Ringler. I know your tournament that you have developed. You know you're pretty big in this sport when you can develop your own tournament. That thing must have went off without a hitch, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't be more happy. I mean,
awesome.
for you guys to understand it and for any of your listeners, basically everyone's familiar with the NIT in college basketball and the WNIT in women's college basketball. I just created the NIT for college golf this year. It's never been done before, and I pulled it off this year, and it was a success. And I am so excited for the future because there are so many programs in collegiate athletics that just don't have the opportunity here to get to the postseason. And, you know, your MAC schools and your Missouri Valley schools and trying to think of schools close to where you're at, they now have, if they don't win their conference championship, they now have a legitimate chance to play in a postseason event and a chance to win. And like I said, I'm super excited that we pulled it off and looking forward to it already for next year.
Well, congratulations on that, Lance. I know that was something you were extremely proud of and put a lot of work into, and it's awesome. Well, listen, this is great to get your perspective from Scottsdale, and if you don't mind, I might bother you again next week if all goes well for Illinois and maybe get your perspective going into the 15 or the 8 if Mike Small Squad's there. All right, buddy.
I'll be here. Just let me know if you need me.
All right, at Golf Week Ringler. Lance, thank you so much, buddy. Go Illini.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Oh, he just acted like he didn't hear me on that one. Mm-hmm. Letting that slide with that Indiana Hoosier thing.
What's the Hoosier response? Is it the old who?
I don't
Hoosiers?
know. What do they? Is that what they do? Or do they just say we're all redheaded?
Can't believe I just did that. I've been doing that.
Should I clip that one up?
No.
That's definitely.
Kyle, stop doing this.
Definitely. Yeah, I just think they're all redheaded. That's their response. As well, we're all redheaded and you're not. Lance Ringler, 19 hours ago. Golf is hard. Winning a national title is even harder. Nearly 300 active NCAA D1 women's golf coaches, and only 9 have won a national title. That kind of tells you, I guess. Now, I don't know if I broke down the field this year in the NCAA basketball tournament, how many of those coaches have won a national title. It might be similar. I don't know. But we know how hard that is as well. So, you know what? Illinois' got a really good chance. And it all starts tomorrow. So I'm excited about that and excited to get that going. And I will be. And I don't know exactly the tee time. We haven't found that, have we?
Not the exact tee time.
Okay.
The event itself, or round 1 itself, starts tomorrow morning at 8:10 a.m. Central Time.
Wait, I do know the tee time because I'm better than you. Does that make sense? Illinois goes off at 11:30, and they're playing with Vanderbilt and North Carolina. Vanderbilt is considered maybe the best team in the country. Arizona State's really good, too, and they're playing essentially their home course. So it looks like Jackson Buchanan will go off first at 11:30 on hole 10, followed by Pearson Hunt, Matisse, if that's how you say it, Bassard, my Saluki guy. Tommy Kuhl will go off at 12:03, and then Day Chassart at 12:14. So Buchanan, Hunt, Bassard, Kuhl, and Day Chassart. I literally can't say that. Adrian. Yeah, and again, they're playing with Vanderbilt and North Carolina. So now when they say 11:30, I haven't. I that's my bad.
Pacific time?
Well, if it is, then it would be 1:30 our time because they're 2 hours behind us right now in Arizona. So that's probably the case. That would probably be the case. So there you go. So it'll be an afternoon. We'll have some updates and results here on the show tomorrow. I can't wait. We got to catch a quick break before we say goodbye. It's The Drive.
By now, you've all heard the expression, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 for PDR Automotive. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. But who are they? They, the PDR staff, understand that a name is only as good as the people that represent it. The PDR staff has more than 335 years of combined automotive experience. Several employees now on staff for more than 25 years. PDR, more than just to name. Family owned and operated, now celebrating over 50 years in business. If you're looking for a pre-owned car, truck, or van, look no further than Sarah Champagne. You know them for their 5 incredible vehicle brands, the BMW, Honda, Subaru, Buick, and GMC. But did you know they also have over 100 used cars, trucks, and vans in stock right now? And at Sarah Champagne, they will take care of you. You can trust them. And prices begin at under $2,000. Stop by Sarah Champagne. They're at Burwash and Savoy, or go online. SarahChampagne.com. That's Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, Champagne.com. Looking to eat healthier and buy locally? Savannah Ridge Farms in Indianola, Illinois has been expanding their yak herd for nearly 2 years, offering local farm-to-table meat containing absolutely no antibiotics, no hormones, or steroids. Savannah Ridge Farms is raising 100% all-natural yaks that feed on organic grass and hay in chemical-free open land. Yak meat is one of the best sources of protein and is nearly 100% fat-free. So if you want healthy, nutrient-dense, vitamin-packed red meat without the worry of how it got to your plate, visit SavannahRidgeFarms.com and check out their Facebook page. Look for Savannah Ridge Farms at Urbana's Market at the Square on Saturdays. They deliver to Champaign and Vermilion counties, and you can also pick them up at their farm. Visit SavannahRidgeFarms.com for incredibly healthy yak meat. SavannahRidgeFarms.com.
Long Branch Steakhouse in beautiful downtown Gifford is more than just a steakhouse. Every Wednesday and Thursday nights, only at Long Branch, fresh country fried chicken, fresh country fried pork, both served with mashed potatoes and green beans. The kebabs are delicious, made with your choice of chicken, shrimp, beef, veggies, or surf and turf. All entrees come with a house salad and your choice of one of 2 sides. Wednesday and Thursday evenings starting at 5. And enjoy Long Branch Steakhouse in beautiful downtown Gifford.
Hey, Illini fans, it's Mike Greenberg. Catch Lon Tay and Derek Piper weekdays from 4 to 6 right here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Hey, we got to finish you up here with a couple of tidbits. One on Ray J. Dennis, but I'm going to make you wait. Cliff and Urbana, thank you.
That's right. That's what he's doing to everybody else.
Exactly. Yeah, he has to. Cliff, good call here, but I forgot to ask Lance Ringler, but he said in terms of how Michael Block made the PGA Championship, Cliff said there's 28 PGA professionals can qualify through tournaments. So like the professionals, club pros around here, in other words, could qualify for it. So thank you, Cliff. Good stuff. All right, Ray J. Dennis.
According to Adam Zagoria, Ray J. Dennis is scheduled to work out with the Milwaukee Bucks for
good Lord,
May 30th. Next Tuesday. The 31st is the last day to pull out of the draft. And I would assume if he's going to go to that workout, the Bucks wouldn't work him out if he's committed, right?
No.
Somewhere?
I don't think so.
Are we waiting 5 more days for this?
Sounds like Wednesday.
Is that what we're going to do?
Wednesday, we're going to hear about all 3 of them. Could be a momentous day. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Could be a really good day, Kyle.
Save me, please.
Could be a bad day.
There's a lot of ways that day could go.
We're going to have a keg in the corner of the radio station.
I need it now.
We'll have some yak meat from Savannah Ridge Farms.
I'll take that.
And a keg in the corner to either celebrate or painfully talk about how Illinois is going to play next year without a point guard.
Celebrate or medicate.
Yeah, or medicate. Good call. Let's get out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Great to be back. Thanks. Yeah. It is The Drive. Let's go.
Are you having problems with slow backing up drains? Give Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing a call today to bring out our underground camera and high-pressure jetter for all those pesky sewer problems. If you are tired of those high utility bills, Dogtown also has a super high-efficiency Rinnai tankless water heaters available as well. The Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing team is here for you if you need a repair or simply want to avoid costly repairs down the road. Call us for details at 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
Illini fans, stock up on great Illini gear this summer at the official fan store of the Fighting Illini, Game Day Spirit. Their famous buy one, get one free shirt selection is perfect for summer and has some great new designs. Shop their line of polos and other business casual apparel from great brands like Nike, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and more. Refresh your wardrobe this summer at Game Day Spirit, located at the corner of Neal and Kirby in Champaign, 6th and Green in Campus Town, and online at GameDaySpirit.com. Game Day Spirit, where Illini fans shop.
The Stars of Mars race under the Friday night lights for the Mars Modified Championships, sponsored by Summit Racing Equipment. $5,000 to win Mars late models, $2,000 to win Mars Modifieds. Head to Farmer City this Friday night, May 26th, as you get into your Memorial Day holiday weekend. For details, head to FarmerCityRacing.com. You'll buy the whole seat, but you only need the edge.
Your lawn is an important investment. Let Spring Green take care of that lawn. Your local, family-owned and operated Spring Green has been committed to beautifying your neighborhood through quality, service, and professionalism. Spring Green's full program customers are backed by their guarantee of satisfaction. Smart Money Magazine reports that consumers value a home with a well-maintained lawn and landscape up to 11.3% higher than the base price. Why don't you call Spring Green today, 359-2111, or visit them at spring-green.com. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana.